I like Toshi as of right now a lot better than Dogecoin. Even though I'm not a financial advisor, this is the way I view it. If I was looking for a meme coin that didn't have some random low micro cap, nonsense, right? Something that's not very low in market cap, but at the same time, a very well established community with a good presence, not to mention listed in pretty good exchanges, what would I rather choose, Dogecoin or Toshi? I think hands down it's going to have to be something like Toshi, because Toshi, again, isn't some nonsense thing where it feels a little bit risky to me, but it's not a dinosaur. Dogecoin currently has a market cap that is above $30 billion. That's not doing even a 10x in my opinion from where it is as of right now during this aura. Now, did Dogecoin do well historically speaking? Absolutely. It's currently the biggest meme coin of all time, actually, arguably, I would say. So the way you take a look at it is that, would it make sense for me to get into the number one meme coin as of right now? I just don't really know about that. I would much rather choose something like Toshi, because Toshi, in my opinion, despite it being relatively pretty, good in my opinion in terms of market cap, it's not too massive to the point that it's a dinosaur. 2 cents is still around a 28x from here. I get it, Toshi has pumped quite a bit. But again, if my criteria is looking for a meme coin that is not some random nonsense, but not a dinosaur, this fits the bill for me, because we have to take a look at why Toshi is very fantastic, at least in my opinion. Listed on Coinbase. The name is very unique, named after Brian Armstrong's pet cat. Brian Armstrong is the co-founder of Coinbase, has Toshi Tools and Toshi Mart. So when it comes to the use case, it's not that bad, right? Toshi Mart, quite simply put, it's a meme coin launchpad basically, and Toshi Tools can, basically help guide someone towards their journey to be building on the base network. So when it comes to the use case, it's pretty okay. Not to mention, Toshi name is very similar to Satoshi Nakamoto, not a dog thief meme coin. Not to mention as well, on the base network, one of the emerging, layer 2s out there that's really gaining a lot of momentum and traction. Not to mention, the base network is Coinbase's layer 2 network. I mean, this is a game set match right here, because the way you take a look at it is that Dogecoin, if I got into it years ago, that's fine. As of right now, yeah, I just don't think so. I mean, just imagine, right? If Dogecoin did a 10x from here, market cap would be over $300 billion. I mean, what is that about? You know what I mean? When I take a look at something like Toshi, again, at 28x from here, it's not even that difficult to achieve, in my opinion, considering current circulating supply market cap at that point around $8 billion, given, let's say, it does reach the price of 2 cents. How is that too much to ask for? If Dogecoin does a 5x from here and the market cap's like, over 150 billion, and let's say Toshi somewhere along there can't go to around an $8 billion market cap, it's just my opinion. And think about this, right? There is no way for me to directly enter quote unquote the base network, in a sense that the base network doesn't have its own native token, right? So then how can I believe in it? By believing in projects that are on there. Because if I believe in the base network, I'm going to be believing that, some of the projects are going to go along with the ride. So if I want a meme coin on the base network, why would I look no further than Toshi? This is just my opinion. I get it, there's Brett, which is a bigger meme coin right now. But I think Toshi is cooler. I think it's more fantastic. And the thing about Toshi is that it has the prerequisites that people often look for when it comes to a meme coin. Because in my opinion, oftentimes in the past, I've seen people want to look for a meme coin with a good and solid community. Toshi has that. They want something that is listed in good exchanges. Again, Toshi has that, like I mentioned earlier in the video, listed on a place like Coinbase. Not to mention, they want something that is, cool and interesting. And I think this one is. Sure, it may not have the brand recognition of like a Shiba, and Dogecoin, but I think it's good enough. And that's kind of the point, right? I want to enter into something that's not a dinosaur again. So I do like this. This fits what I'm looking for. I like it. I like the concept. I think it's very fantastic. But as of right now, it's clearly just a waiting game. I get it. Might feel a bit long, but understand this, in my opinion at least. We're not in the S&P 500. I'm not buying gold here. I'm not buying into some random stocks, right? In the world of cryptocurrencies, things hypothetically in theory do move very quickly. Just take a look at how fast Toshi moved not too long ago, before it had that major pullback. Now, of course, it had a pretty good recovery, but even that felt pretty quick. In the world of cryptocurrencies, I get it when people say, oh, in a couple months, it may seem like, oh, it's not that much time. Like, how can it do that, let's say, right? In theory, let's say someone has a target. But the way I view it is that in the world of cryptocurrencies, things usually move very quickly, far faster than, again, gold, S&P 500, and all this. So in my opinion, I still have great conviction that 2 cents could maybe be a possibility for Toshi before the end of this year. I get it. People may think that we're nearing June as of right now. What makes you think that we can even, see, let's say, Toshi reach 2 cents before December or before January of next year? But maybe I could very well see that happening, especially Bitcoin and altcoins keep heading in the direction in which they are for, a couple of months moving forward. And let's say there's going to be a moment in time where maybe, right, there's this large retail FOMO for altcoins, and then we start seeing the altcoin season like very similar to what we saw back in 2021, but let's say a lot better. Yeah, I just don't see why not, because now for me, it's just a waiting game. So far, I haven't been really that wrong when it comes to Toshi because it did go up ever since I started talking about it, even though that's not financial advice. But let's say the hype that we saw when it comes to altcoins, like back then, but then amplified like 5x or maybe even a 10x. Are we seeing Toshi can't, let's say, 5 or 10x what it did back then in terms of hype and attention? I don't see why not. But again, this is all speculation. I cannot tell the future. But what I can take a look at is the current statistics of the crypto space, which I think are very bullish, right? Like, for instance, Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF. And this is, of course, going to be very beneficial for Ethereum layer 2s, much like the base network in which Toshi is on. Also, the way you take a look at it is that when it comes to the amount of crypto owners, there's over 600 million currently, according to Crypto.com research. And keep in mind, we have this as of right now without a fully fledged, altcoin season yet. So imagine once we see that, and once we see Bitcoin reaching even greater heights, I feel like the amount of crypto owners might be a lot more, despite already having more than ever before in history, even currently. So this is all very bullish to me. It's just a waiting game. The market is going to wake up when it wants to wake up, but I want to be prepared for that because if I'm not in the space, right, if I'm not dollar cost averaging, acquiring, holding, and just waiting, if I'm not doing that, let's say the market does wake up, I might regret that. In my opinion, I would regret more seeing the market wake up and then I'm not a part of it rather than me seeing my portfolio go down, if that makes sense, right? Like personally, if I see my portfolio go down temporarily, like let's say 30, 40%, sure, it stings. It's not that good for me. Like at least emotionally, it's not good for the ego, right? But then would I rather risk that and then, let's say, hypothetically missing out on a fully fledged bull run? No way. I'd rather, maybe take some L's along the way and then maybe see a victory in the future. There's no guarantees though. This is just my opinion. When I first started acquiring Toshi, there was no guarantee what's going to do well. There's no guarantee, right? No one's going to guarantee that for me. And I can't even guarantee myself. I can't even guarantee that to anyone, But the way you take a look at it is that I'm taking a chance on this. Again, there's no telling if it's really going to do what it maybe could do, but I'll still believe it in any ways. I think the factors as of right now are so bullish and it's just a waiting game. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Mali the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.